So, dudes, I'll be taking a look at the test server patch notes for Operation Neon Dawn coming in the winter this year. If you haven't checked out the Neon Dawn video that I did reviewing the patch, you can check that out in the info card at the top right corner of your screen. But for now, I'm doing a completely blind reaction to the actual patch notes themselves. So there's a couple of changes here and there that I did not cover in that video, and we're going to talk about balancing and just general quips, very brief kind of assessments of what I think about these changes balance-wise. We have taken good note of the pro and community feedback. We recognize that the current meta revolving around heavy utility and defense is causing issues to the health of the game. Thank you. Holy crap. Jaeger Nerf, Wamai Nerf. I briefly touched on it in the video I put out a couple days ago, but here are the actual details outlined in a set of patch notes. Catcher operators, I guess this is the terminology, the official terminology they're using for these kinds of characters, can deny 5 to 6 projectiles per round. We're aiming for something closer to 3 to 4 per operator. So Jaeger is being reworked, nerfed. It's a nerf, okay? I know that Jaeger mains out there are trying to cope. I've been there.
What? What? What?
Why?
Leave Jaeger alone!
We're looking to moderate. I'm sorry, man. It's a nerf. Just stop coping. People did this when Jaeger got changed to a 2-speed. They were like, oh, well, he has more armor now, so it's a buff. No, it's a nerf. If you're not familiar with what exactly the gadget does, basically what happens now, one ADS is not going to be able to destroy 2 projectiles in quick succession. One ADS is only going to be able to get rid of 1 projectile, and then after it zaps out that other projectile, it's going to be on a 10-second cooldown. So the ADS is going to zap something and then deactivate for 10 seconds, and then it'll be able to zap one other thing again. But it'll be able to do that indefinitely. It'll be able to do that indefinitely. Sounding like Boomhauer's reading the patch notes. Man, I'll tell you what, one day I went on down by the creek and the truck got all blown up. The tire smoked it all over the goddamn place, man. I don't even know the hell kind of goddamn happened. Some mean old motherfucker came up and he said, boy, I tell you what, you know, get out of here in five minutes. I'm going to make sure that ain't going to be no good, all right? So make sure, goddamn, I needed money, okay? So they think that Jaeger is going to get up to 3 projectiles in a round, and Wamai, if he survives throughout the entirety of the round, can get up to 4. So his gadget isn't going to be as prevalent throughout the round. They expect Aruni to also get up to 3 projectiles on average within a given round. I think this is a really good change. I think that the game is already extremely defender-sided, and the attackers have not had enough options to deal with all the crap that the defenders can deploy for free with no particular cost to them. Aruni's projectile denial is prevalent, but I think what's going to make her stronger is her crowd controlling ability, so we'll see how that goes. Overall, good change. I'm happy about the direction they're going. Hopefully, we'll get a more substantial Malusi nerf, because I don't think the MP5 change is really enough. A lot of deployable shields have also been swapped around. We're playing musical deployable shields again. Wamai lost that deployable, and he really needed to, because he could quite literally just sit behind his shield, throw his pucks all over the goddamn place, and just anchor an entire room by himself with no consequence. So I think that was definitely needed. Plus, with Jaeger getting scaled back a little bit, Wamai is a lot more viable on his own as a solo operator. Typically, you would see Wamai in combination with Jaeger as a supplement to a very utility soak heavy defensive team. Well, now I think he's going to be a solo pick in a lot of situations where people normally wouldn't expect him to be. So I think that's a good thing for the meta overall. With the Jaeger and Wamai nerf, we're also getting a little bit of a tuning of Ashe and Zofia. And what they did with Ashe is they gave her another pro pipe charge. They're not exactly saying what they plan on doing in the future. I think this is just an acknowledgement from Ubisoft saying, yeah, we know Ash and Zofia are pretty much like the Jaeger and Wamai of attack, and they're the most picked operators on attack because they're so versatile and important in the utility meta. They're basically saying, like, yeah, we're going to do something more substantial with it later. I'm eager to see what they'll do. Habana got reworked. Here's the change. As you can see, she can swap to different configurations of her X-Kairos launcher. So this allows her to be more efficient with the usage of her gadget. She doesn't have to waste pellets. So she needs 4 pellets fired in this configuration to get rid of a hatch. And she only has to use 2 to get rid of castle barricades. So this allows her to cover more ground with her gadget over the course of a round, which I think is very good, because Ace pretty much just kind of came in, and there are so many situations now where it's like, why do I even need to bring a Habana? And this is going to make her a lot more viable. The Jaeger change I already explained to you. Population targeted by this change. Top ranked in pros. Oh no! We're balancing the game competitively?
The pro leagues are ruining this game. Ubisoft makes decisions solely on whatever these Red Bull addicts say.
It's okay, you'll get over it. Maybe you'll, like, become a better player, you know, that you're not as reliant on a crutch as you used to be. You're also not going to be able to 5 IQ place these gadgets right next to each other the way that you used to. Read this. If Wamai intercepts a projectile and brings it into the range of an ADS, the ADS will intercept the projectile, and both gadgets will be used up. So that won't be as efficient. You're going to have to make sure that the gadgets are outside of each other's radiuses, so that way you don't overlap them. You're going to have to be more mindful with the placement, basically. Echo's cloak on his yokai drones is gone. Wait for the sound of Echo mains. This is fine. I mean, like, Echo was constantly banned. Constantly. Echo is still going to be viable. He's just not going to be as ridiculous as he used to be. You pretty much had to bring a G8, an IQ to deal with Echo, and now his presence isn't going to be like a must pick if he's not banned at this point, I believe. This change is directed at, quote, toning down her entry fragging aspect. I'm kind of on the fence about whether it does that or not. They're taking away her stun grenades and replacing it with a claymore, which, I mean, stun grenades were primarily used before the Jaeger and Wamai changes to burn out Jaeger ADSs and Wamai discs. So with an additional breaching round, she can get rid of more bulletproof utility, or she can open up more lines of sight and more entryways into the objective. I actually got a clip yesterday from my stream that I'll show you guys. I got a kill with the claymore, and I got a kill with the 3 breaching rounds. So here I'll take a look. See, I don't know why this title hasn't changed. I literally hit like edit title like 5 times before my stream started, and it just kept this. But I literally opened up
these up.
the typical 90 angles that I do here.
No, that's my bad.
Okay.
Holding the cross.
That's office side dead? What a weirdo.
That's a frag. So I hear the office call, and then I open up on office side, and now I have a way to look towards archives with that 3rd breaching round.
Yeah, he's tagged. Very tagged. 50.
And then
That incorporates like elements.
I get an opening pick with a claymore
Elements of both.
on Ash. So I think Ash is still going to be a good operator. Remember when Dokkaebi had frag grenades for 5 seconds? Well, now she's going to get them back for maybe 10 seconds. I thought that Dokkaebi having frag grenades was a good thing at the time that she had them, because in addition to her not so amazing fragging ability with her guns, like her guns are good, but they're not, they're used more in a passive or supporting kind of role. Like, if you can get really good with the SMG-12, it's really good for close range entry fragging. And then you have the DMR, which is really good for long range angle holding, and that's kind of it. So her ability to take out other operators is there, but it's just not as efficient as, say, Ash, Zofia, IQ. Her gadget has a lot of things that need to go right in order for her to get the most out of it. this was a really good change to increase her performance floor, so that way her performance and contribution to the round didn't fluctuate as much in terms of effectiveness. Twitch, she had her breaching charges taken away, and now she has stun grenades. Twitch has seen her presence reduced over the last few seasons as the F2 is not performing as well as it used to. You think? Good change. She needed something to kind of help her out a little bit in terms of her ability to entry frag, because a lot of her utility usefulness has been scaled back considerably because the shock drone is pretty easy to counter and deal with. Valk! Impact grenades took away the deployable shield. The deployable shield was certainly used in some strategies at high competitive play. Population targeted by this change, pros, oh my goodness, they can't balance the game around those Red Bull addicts. Those bastards. I'm okay with it, don't care. It even says right here, ranked and casual players always prefer using the C4 as a secondary gadget because C4 synergizes with her cameras very well. But now, if pros want to use a particular strategy with Valkyrie, in turn with impact grenades, I think if they're good enough to see the impact grenades as better than the C4, if they have some kind of strategy where they're big braining it and going, oh yeah, I want to bring impacts instead, just let them do it. It's no big deal. It's not necessarily a super hardcore buff or nerf to Valkyrie. Wamai had his deployable shield taken away, and his number of Wamai discs has been reduced to 4. This was needed yesterday. Wamai and Jaeger pretty much dominated the meta. If you want to get tricky with it, you can use impact grenades and get creative with Wamai's movement. So now, maybe he doesn't have to play on the site as much as he's probably used to. Zero gets his frag grenades taken away. I saw this happening eventually. I think that he had a little bit too much in his kit. He was just too versatile. He could literally just do everything. He had intel. He was able to get rid of utility. He had a gun that was pretty good in terms of fragging power. He'll be okay. If anything, his role relies on him not having to die so much. So he'll be around to help open up another angle into the site with the secondary hard breach gadget if the occasion calls for it. I'm okay with this change. Biggest takeaways in this patch are the Jager and Wamai nerfs. The game is already highly defender-sided as is, and I think anything that's going to help the attackers out is going to ultimately be a good thing. If you played the game on the test server so far, you'll notice that the presence of these gadget-grabbing gadgets isn't nearly as high as it used to be, and you can actually do and execute in a reasonable amount of time on attack. It's really crazy stuff. If you guys would like to see me play this new patch on the test server, for the rest of the week, I'm going to be starting streams on the test server at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually running to about 2 to 3 hours. I've been late to both of the streams I've done in the past 2 days, but hopefully this time I won't be. So just go ahead and check out my Twitch channel in the description down below. It's 2 a.m. I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching. Deuces.